What is going on, guys? Welcome back. It's the day after the National Running Show in Birmingham. So I was there yesterday on the Sunday for day 2. Fortunately I had to miss the Saturday due to work, but we were there on the Sunday and got to catch up with some really interesting people. One of which was Rob Pope, real life Forrest Gump, and also Paul Addicott. He's a professional pacer, so I had the chance to ask him a few questions about my own pacing and also about overcoming mental walls when on races. So without further ado, let's take a quick look. Okay, so I'm joined now by Paul Addicott, pacer to everybody.
Yeah, do my best.
Yeah, various different distances. So one thing I seem to have a problem with is my pacing.
Okay.
I've recently just got my half marathon time down to 1:43.
Yeah, brilliant.
Yeah, so I'm very happy to go into 1:45. Does that necessarily mean though that I can run 3:30 marathon?
So everyone always says kind of double it and add on a bit, like 10-15 minutes sort of thing. So it's not necessarily, but we're all different as well. So I know people out there that pretty much keep their pace consistent throughout. Some people who are just much better at longer distance and can't seem to get their short distance down. But you know, it depends on the training you're doing. For me, like if you're wanting to go into the marathon territory, you know, it's doing the speed work, so you can do that. But then it's making sure you've got your nice long miles in, so you're comfortable with the distance. Because when I started out, I always had problem when it comes to the marathon because I didn't train long enough, and so I was smashing the half marathons all the time, absolutely fine, nice steady pace, got to 16-20 miles and crashed and burned sort of thing. So it's kind of adjust it, and you know, for me, experience is the main thing. So go and do one. Try it potentially a little bit slower than you're thinking. You know, so you say 1:45. Try a 3:40, 3:45 sort of thing. See how you're feeling, and from that experience, you'll know next time exactly where you're able to push it a bit.
So you say I'm better to midweek do more faster paced runs.
Yeah.
Get the legs used to that, and then longer runs on the weekend to slow the pace down.
Yeah. So it doesn't really matter when you do it. Whatever suits better with you, but I very rarely run at my goal pace. Okay, so when I'm training for my best, what I'll be doing is doing the shorter stuff in the midweek. So I'll be going much harder, do intervals, fartlek. I'll be doing some tempo runs, and then I do longer runs. I generally don't care how long it takes. Naturally, I probably do quicker than I should do, to be honest with you. But quite often it's better to do it slower. Just getting time on your feet, getting the miles in, and getting your body used to it. And then when you, it doesn't matter about the speed, you're actually recovering from that as well. So you're covered enough. So when you're doing your fast runs, you're going hard. Yes, by all means, when you're getting towards race day, you know, it'd be great to do a 20-mile run and actually spend sort of like 18 miles to 20 miles at goal pace sort of thing, potentially to fill that. But you don't need to do the whole thing at goal pace. I've not done any research or whatever, but I think there's probably very little benefit from that, and what you'll find is actually if you go and do it at marathon pace the whole way through, probably do more damage than good. You'll be tired and actually you'll take weeks to recover fully.
Yeah.
Whereas if you just do it gently, put the miles in, your body's used to it, your body's used to going that far, and then speed work, I find by going faster when it comes to race day, actually it feels easier.
Yeah. All right, I found myself Rob Pope today, real life Forrest Gump. Amazing feat last year, wasn't it now? Or was it?
Yes, yeah.
Last year,
I don't know what date it is anymore.
Now,
yeah.
Running across America.
I just fell out running.
Quoted. So we haven't heard from Tom yet, have we?
Not yet, but to be fair, it was his 30th wedding anniversary on the day that I finished, so I didn't really expect to see him in Monument Valley.
We can forgive him that, can't we?
Exactly. All we need to do, we can forgive him once. But Tom, if you're watching, I'll see you.
Come on. So we were talking before. This year's going to be my first ultra marathon in the lakes. One thing that I possibly struggle with a little bit is the mental side, making sure I don't lose that focus. Talked a bit about hitting walls physically and mentally. What advice would you have for me for overcoming those mental walls?
Mental walls. Well, the thing is, you need to sort of make sure you've got a decent set of goals in the first place. First of all, take away the wall of you will not finish, because you will finish. And so just like being your own tough boss, you're going to make sure that you're in work at this time and you go home at that time as well. There's no slacking off early. But in the meantime, try and make your day at work as enjoyable as possible. So little short-term goals, make sure you get through to your coffee break for you, a gel or something like that, and then, sort of get through to halfway. Start ticking those miles down once you get to 25. Don't start counting up, because there's no limit. It's much better to count down to 0 than up to a potential infinity.
Indeed. We also talked a little bit earlier about music and the importance of that, especially when you're running alone for such a long amount of time. You seem to mention Queen quite a lot. Is that a running theme for you?
Very big band for me. I don't think I ever had as much fun on the run was when I'd be alone in the desert singing Somebody to Love. Well, in fact, actually somebody to anything, just talk to, But it was good because people didn't get to hear my massacring of the song. I started my third leg in Chicago from Wrigley Field to the tunes of One Vision, and sort of just like yourself, one man, one dream.
Got it.
Yeah.
So, what's the next thing for you then? What are we expecting from you next?
Well, despite having done this ultra, I'm not very experienced in the world of actually racing them. I'm hoping to go to the desert. Well, I better I do, because I've got a flight booked in about 10 weeks' time to go to the Sahara, and hopefully I will get to the end of the Marathon des Sables.
So that's a great one to do. Great one to do. I'd love to do that myself one day.
One day.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you said
not as if you're starting small either.
Well, yeah, I know. Big goals.
Yeah.
So you said you probably haven't run in about 6 weeks, 6 months?
No, it's probably about 6 months of proper running, just dabbling, and realised I was still injured and then going back to rehab. And so, I'm basically trying to make sure that my gluteals are a lot stronger than they were.
I have the same problem.
Yeah.
I thought I had a fantastic arse, but apparently...
Yep, no, you're a runner, man. You're a runner, you got a rubbish arse, We and you are not going to rival. We will not break the internet, that's for sure,
No,
Maybe I will, because I've been practising recently, so, I put on about 2 kilos recently, and I think it's all glutes.
But I think you look like you've got the physiques that you can get any extra weight off.
I'm holding the belly in,
So you're happy to be back on UK soil?
Very much so, although it's freezing at the moment, but I guess I'm not exposed to it as much when I'm on the cross trainer in the gym, It'd just be nice to get and do some runs myself. Like, I'd love to head up to the Lakeland, I don't know if I'll be making it this year, but
maybe
at some
I'll
point...
see you there, who knows?
You might do, man.
Might be sitting on a bench, waving as I go by.
It's been done before.
So we want to know, is the beard here to stay?
Well, the beard has still got work to do. And so I obviously, as you know, I'm running for the World Wildlife Fund and Peace Direct, my 2 amazing charities, and I am hoping to potentially tie up a few interesting loose ends in America, which would be, first of all, becoming the first person to run in all 50 states, or across all 50 states. Lots of people have run in them. And then the next one would be to finally complete this 5th crossing from where I stopped in Monument Valley all the way to Santa Monica, and you never know, Tom Hanks lives there, he might be having a pint in the pub.
You never know. So what first inspired you to run? Is there any one person or one thing that actually kicked off your
my mum, really, and she's not around anymore, unfortunately, but she's a huge inspiration, and she was the one who, unwittingly, I don't think she ever intended it to be this, but she said, do one thing in your life that makes a difference. And after searching for that for a good 15 or so years, I was suddenly sat in a barber's chair in Mobile about to undertake the biggest episode of my life so far.
Wow, it's fantastic. So it must have been very emotional for you finishing that.
It was unbelievable. Yeah, I had 2 finishes. The one with the big finish, which we'll come to in a second. But when I finally did the 15,248 miles, which is the distance Forrest ran, I was only on my own with a friend, and I was a little bit further ahead of him, so I could have the emotional connection I wanted, you know. And that was one for my mum, I'd say. And then the one at the end, after about another 400 miles, was for my future, my family. I proposed to my girlfriend at the finish line, but only after
she said yes.
Well, exactly, but you know, it's a bit nasty putting her under that sort of pressure. But you know, hey, she could have said no. You know, so if she didn't want to, she'd have said no. And then basically, yeah, I still made sure I uttered the words, "I'm pretty tired. I think I'll go home now."
There we go. So, is the wedding date planned?
Well, I think it pretty much is. It's late October, and the big question is what will the beard be up to by then? Because she's a fan of beards, but maybe just not quite this one.
Not just a beard. Will you be wearing your full Forrest Gump attire down the aisle? Yet to be determined.
I don't know. Yeah, I certainly don't think I'll be wearing the tight red shorts and the yellow T-shirt that I crossed the Mississippi for the 4th time during.
Maybe on the stag do.
Oh God, yeah. I don't even want to believe what they've got planned for me on the stag do. Surely there'll be a theme.
Good. Rob, thank you very much for your time. I really appreciate it. Good luck with the future.
No worries.
See you soon.
Cheers now.
So I'd like to thank both Rob and Paul for taking the time to spend with me there, discussing about some of the issues I have with running. We did have a few technical difficulties, which they both know about, but I really appreciate the time. If you get a chance, follow both of them on Twitter. Go check out what they're up to next. Paul is always online on UK Run Chat. So if you ever got any questions, he's usually there most of the time and always willing to answer your questions. So once again, thanks for tuning in, guys. Like, share and subscribe, and we'll be back very soon with a new video.